I don't want anyone to mistakenly think that we put all this effort into making an aluminum pipe.
The horsepower gains as RPM increases.
We all want it, so. Welcome back. Another episode of Hoonigan Project Garage.
That's right.
Zach.
How you doing?
He's my chop father today.
That's
He's
right.
inspired me to build this LS powered E36 that we're building for Gymkhana Grid. This car's been running since the first episode when we introduced it, and it's about time we show it to you at full beans.
That's right. We need to put this thing on the f***ing ship.
So last episode, we built a titanium exhaust for this thing. It sounds awesome. This episode, we're gonna finish up some small bits, and then Jacob from Smeding Performance is gonna come out here and we're gonna hit the chassis dyno, because as you know, this thing made 716 crank horsepower.
Crank.
We made some changes, smaller headers, smaller intake, and it's got an exhaust on it. So we wanna see what it puts down at the wheel, so we're gonna go head over to EAS, we're gonna put this thing on the dyno. We'll flip the throttle body, but we gotta make an intake, and I wanna change up this crazy breather hose setup. It looks pretty ugly. Spark plug wires look pretty ugly. This looks pretty ugly.
Definitely gonna melt.
That looks pretty ugly. So we got some work to do, making this thing look a bit better, and also getting it all spruced up and ready for the dyno. Ryan came out here. This is Fab Child on Instagram. I've been following this dude for a bit. I saw this really crazy exhaust he built for our boy Xavier Wolf, and ever since then I was like, I need this dude to make me some stuff. He trekked out here this morning, brought some tools. We're gonna make an intake.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Bro, did you put a wing on this?
I mocked up a wing. I don't know. Other little side tangent is, this car was originally supposed to be a time attack car, which will need really big aggressive aero, but for Gymkhana Grid, you don't need it. I'm not gonna spend like thousands of dollars on a big carbon fiber wing that could potentially get smashed off. So maybe we'll run a little lightweight style wing. So I was just mocking it up to see if I like it. You could take off the stands and run it low.
I kind of like the duck.
But see, the thing is I'm a BMW guy. Like, this to me is the coolest wing for every E36. So I'm like, I feel like I have to have it. My yellow car.
Got the Vinny's old yellow M3 from back yonder.
Doing my introductory to Hoonigan burnout. Introductory to Hoonigan burnout. Does that make sense? That was back in 2015 when I started here, and I brought my E36 out from New York. When it first landed here, they were like, you have to do a burnout. So I had to do a burnout. All right, so step one, we gotta mock some stuff up, and I think we're gonna run into some clearance issues.
Not a lot of space right here, so you can see this is like concentric with the throttle body.
We got a couple things in the way. So this upper rad hose is tight. We're gonna move this. This could live literally anywhere, but the thing that we can't move is this tensioner pulley. So we could make the pipe wherever we think looks nice, and then K&N has enough options where, like, yeah, I'll just find a filter that fits, because I didn't want to work around a filter, because that's the easiest thing to change. So I'm happy to like stick it down in this hole here, so it could be a little bit away from the heat, or if we want to place it somewhere here, that's fine too.
That's the easiest route is just for it to come 90 and then hook right here.
And then just sit a filter right there.
Yeah, like kind of like behind the headlight.
I sort of like that, because I was debating running a headlight duct.
That'd be sick, yeah.
So this isn't my miscellaneous part bin, but like we could run a filter like, no, that wouldn't work, but
A little too big.
yeah, we could find a filter that'll work. Well, I guess step one is we got to figure out a route to get around this thing.
I mean, honestly, just kind of mock it up. With pie cuts, it's pretty nice because you can literally just tape it up, and since the part's right here, it's not too like difficult.
You make the whole thing with tape first, or you do like section by section?
It would really just depend on the part, because if it's something
Right.
like intricate, like an exhaust with valve or something,
Yeah.
you'd probably be like mocking and welding as you're going.
Right.
Because it's so small, we can just fit it up with tape, and then that way I can break everything apart, Scotch Brite.
All right, well, what we like to do here is teach the audience how to do this, because, you know, us professionals, it's easy.
You think this is easy?
So these are just 3.5-inch pies. These are 3.5-inch mandrel elbows, and this is all probably like grade 1 titanium, so it's pretty like common for exhaust tubing. We have our first 90. We're gonna need some straight, and I'll just start mocking up where it needs to bend, and then we'll just basically build it from here.
By the way, I want to point out the upgrade that Vinny has gone through. I was the bracket guy last time. Now you bring in this guy.
Actual fabricator?
Actual fabricator, yeah. Has a following because of his fabrication.
All right, so you got some bits mocked up?
Yeah, I just tacked a few pies together. That way they're not just like flailing around.
Right.
I only usually just tack 2, or I can just have like a few of them kind of ready to go.
Right.
So I can kind of mix and match that.
Right, because you could change angle on every single one, right?
Yeah, that way, you know, something like that, they're going to be like offset from each other.
Right, okay.
It's an easy way to tell. We'll see how it goes. The good thing is we're taping it, so there's nothing like locked.
Right, yeah. Okay, sweet.
Sit here and mix and match. Yeah, this is like, I'll have like a whole exhaust tape together.
And in case you're wondering why Jameson's not doing it, it's because Scotto stole him.
Yeah, I'm a little busy, a little tied up.
You know, just in case they're wondering why he's not doing it, helping me out.
You see, people don't see our text messages to each other.
Oh God, no! Jameson has the same problem as Scotto. It's like
9.
yeah.
Damn, you have more Toyotas than I have Audis. This is the stuff we send each other.
Dude, I absolutely hate you for sending this man a double-decker bus.
I said that to him. I said that to
I
him.
said no on that one.
A stock car?
Start here.
Oh God, no!
Yo, let's see, is it still for sale? Look at this gem.
So that's why you guys are never gonna get that done, because you're just gonna be talking about Facebook Marketplace
We got stuff done.
slowly because of Marketplace.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an intake pipe. We could probably just leave it like that, taped up.
Man, I love it when a good plan comes together. So you're gonna step down from the throttle body come and then straight across here.
Yeah, we're gonna remove this bolt because you could hold it in with like a fan tie down lower, and then we're gonna hod this puppy off here, try to hug it as tight as possible because we want to avoid hitting the pulley. So as dumb as that seems, like every 1/4 inch really helps. So. Dude, pretty nice little intake pipe. Yeah, I like it. All right, let's see. Dude, that's cool as fuck. There's way more space than I thought. Like, we're like probably 3/4 of an inch away.
The 100% this clearance with that piece on the radiator that made the difference.
It gave us like that 3/4 inch or so, yeah.
I like the fact that we went out the bay too because it makes it longer. And you don't see the filter because you don't want to like hide the titanium. It's gonna look nice.
But the more titanium in there, the better.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. All right, next up, what we're gonna do is fix up these catch can lines. We didn't have a 120-degree fitting, so it kind of loops up and over the manifold. It's a bit of an eyesore. So I went over to our friends at Holley and ordered up some Earl's fittings and lines, and we got some black braided AN line, which I think will blend in a lot better back there. So we're just gonna swap that out real quick. I think it'll look a lot better. Used a 120-degree Earl's -10 AN fitting to go to the catch can, and then I actually changed this line out to black nylon braid just so it looks uniform. Mounted up the chase bays, radiator overflow on this side. Now that's out of the way for the intake, and yeah, that's it. So Ryan is gonna come back and drop off the intake tomorrow morning, and we're gonna load this thing up. We're gonna go hit the dyno. We're gonna go see what type of power this thing makes. What's up? Let's see this thing. You even wrapped it and stuff? How nice. You decided not to burn?
We haven't made the decision yet. It looks good polished, but I feel like if we burn it, it's gonna look nice too. Oh, you gotta get the secret sauce out of the car.
Soy sauce.
Just something to clean it, yeah.
Yeah.
So right now it has all the fingerprints and stuff on it.
Dude, man, look at those.
Yeah, the well's not too bad.
Not too bad.
I tried my best.
Dude, that's pretty nice, man.
Pretty much like that.
Oh man, you know, I was considering leaving it polished. I sort of like it, but you can look in this engine bay and think that that's aluminum.
Yeah.
So
100%.
it's probably better that I don't want anyone to mistakenly think that we put all this effort into making an aluminum pipe.
Titanium?
All right, well, yeah, let's burn this shit.
All right, let's grab that metal piece. the juice to clean it. The juice.
The juice. Give him some juice.
It's our secret sauce to clean the titanium. Because if you can't leave any fingerprints on it.
Before you burn it.
Yeah. If it has anything like this, like handprints or residue.
Right.
It'll burn those fingerprints and stuff on there.
No shit.
Yeah.
Titanium, so strong, but so delicate. Also, this is just a fucking situation. Just brought a propane tank.
And propane accessories.
Oh boy.
You don't want to do that.
What's the technique here?
Actually, it's kind of easy, but it's really not. You're just trying to get the thing to heat up at the same time. But it's kind of like, I guess, painting. So you're trying to hit it from each side, pretty much.
Okay, so don't boil one spot, just kind of
No.
do your thing. I'll just be here. Well, now that he's here burning some pipes, I'm not gonna leave this boring old exhaust tip on there, so I might as well just pull it off and have him do that while we're doing it, right?
What's that butt hole?
Well, while he was here, I wasn't gonna just let my exhaust look all wet, so.
So basically, this is like a Scotch-Brite finish. So instead of being polished, it'll be like a matte finish.
So much cooler. There's blue, the final step.
Gold to purple to dark blue to light blue, back to yellow, back to purple, and then it turned polished again. Like turned like silver
just went
again.
full spectrum.
Yeah, it got so fucking hot.
Today's the day.
Yeah, buddy.
Look who we got.
We got the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Jacob Villeman. Shit.
He flew in from San Antonio, where Smeding Performance is headquartered, and he's out here to tune this car, finally make some chassis dyno numbers.
Yeah.
So if you guys remember, this made 716 crank horsepower. That was on a little bit different of a setup. I had to put a smaller intake on, obviously smaller headers to fit it into the car. So Jacob wanted to come out and dyno tune the car, see what we can make at the wheels.
You got a 5-speed in it, which is going to really help. I think with all the things that you've added on to really restrict my poor engine, we'll find out.
I even heard that you wanted him to tune it down.
We're gonna make a number, and then I'm gonna be like, now make it safe, because I want to be able to run this car hard. I'm not Zach. I don't just do one burnout for Instagram. Just fucking around. I ideally would like to detune it slightly.
What's the matter with you?
Beyond like a certain amount of power, you're just doing nothing.
It's not ready for the V8 Smeding power.
I'm excited to drive it. I think I'll get to drive it this afternoon. Probably can't give it too much beans, but we'll drive it.
Let's go, Vinny.
came out. Oh God, that's too loud. Let me wait. Okay, we made it to the dyno. We're here, European Auto Source in Anaheim. This is the mecca of BMW. You guys know I always come here for my BMW stuff. We got Steve putting the car on the dyno. Got Mark Crumb's car here from iBox. They always got really nice BMW stuff though. God damn, shut that thing off, so loud. We got Steve's car, what I'm modeling my car after, except for with a big, crazy engine. This is one of my favorite E36s. It's Steve, the owner here. It's got an S54, it weighs like 2,400 pounds. Super fast to button willow. Street drives it there, runs sub 50s. Steve, sorry for ruining productivity here, but thanks for having us. A long time ago, Steve was generous enough to let Hurt dyno his car here when they first put the rotary in, and it was the most disastrous dyno day. They were on the dyno for like 12 hours and it stunk so bad and no one was able to work here. We got the whole race team on it, probably just because they want me to leave really soon, but look at this, jamming. So what are you thinking? What are we gonna do?
We're gonna fire it up first. I'm gonna pull out a lot of the timing that we were running it with in Texas because I don't know how California E85 works compared to Texas E85. So we're gonna start soft, see how much power it makes, and then start adding timing into the motor and see how the curve is looking, see if there's any drop-offs, any pickups, and just really find the most optimized torque and horsepower curve for the fuel you've got available.
Cool.
Did I do that?
God damn.
Okay, so our horsepower is accurate, but we can just take it by gear or just by speed. Let's do a wheel calibration because I want to showcase how much torque the motor's making.
Right.
Being a 441. Everything pulled out of it. It's making 527 rear torque and a little over 500 wheel.
Right out of the box, 506 wheel horsepower, 527 torque, and that's with out of the box tune, pretty much. Like conservative, yeah.
Like turned way down. So there's your 500 wheel tune.
That's all I want. I mean, I might even ask him to turn it down a bit. So what do you want to do next?
We're gonna start turning it up.
Okay.
Put it up to 11, exactly.
All right, first pull, 506 wheel, 520 foot-pounds of torque, which honestly is more than I need and kind of want. I think 500 would be perfect for me, but Jacob wants to, you know, he wants to show what he can do. So we're gonna let him continue to put some spice on it, and then I might beg him to turn it down a little bit, but we'll see. But overall, this thing sounds sick. I'm really excited on how it's going. Look how weird this guy is. God damn! 50 horsepower and another like 30 foot-pounds of torque just from beat booping.
Yep, just pressing them keys.
And honestly, that's a huge change for NA.
And we're not done yet.
When you see people tuning turbo cars, it's so easy to continue to increase these numbers so much. I've never seen an NA car pick up 50 wheel horsepower from tunes. But I'm also not used to like LSs and stuff.
Compression, some E85, a lot of cubic inches. It's gonna like some timing.
Oh my gosh.
This is at 26 degrees of timing. That's normal. Like we are not even running a lot of timing yet.
So for us non-LS guys, you're saying you're adding timing.
All right, you got your spark plug, right? The piston is coming up and on the compression stroke, and you're adding timing. You're firing that spark plug when the piston is further away, so it can compress those explosive gases further before it starts the power stroke.
That's a great explanation.
Eventually, if you add too much timing, it'll fire that plug, and the piston will reach a point when the gases overcome the piston, and then you have detonation where both sides aren't giving to each other. So right now when timing is safe, the piston can eclipse top dead center and then the explosion pushes it down.
Nice. So when you're saying you're running 26 degrees of timing,
that's a
max RPM or what?
The whole curve.
Okay.
But as torque drops, we're actually dropping cylinder pressure. So generally, you can sprinkle in a little more timing at higher RPM and keep carrying the horsepower.
Got it. Okay. That's where all the fine tuning comes in, is figuring out where you could put your ignition timing throughout the resin. Got it. Let's see what you can do. This is f***ing nuts.
Yeah, I'm having fun.
Run 6, how'd we do? We got 562 and 560. That's about as square as you can get, huh?
Yeah, it's not bad. And what I really like about these EFI systems that where you can do a totally programmable timing curve is you can see right at peak torque, when cylinder pressure is the highest, the extra 2 degrees of timing made no difference. However, we're still making more power. And if you look at the horsepower gains, they actually get bigger as RPM increases. So what I'm gonna do now is step back to 26 degrees of timing at peak torque.
Oh, and then what's this?
This is 28.
28. Okay, so you just bump it down a little
Go
bit.
back to 26 at peak torque, leave 28 at high torque. Curve will be the same, but without the timing in it, it's safer for you, for the car,
Yeah.
for everything.
Dude, sick. Final setup here. 562 wheel horsepower, 560 foot-pounds of torque on this beefy old curve, man. 3,500 RPM, it's making over 450 foot-pounds. 7,000 RPM, still making about 550.
It's linear. It's
Yeah.
there. There's
Dude,
no
it's
lag,
the whole
there's
thing.
no spool. It's just boom.
About 20% drivetrain loss, plus about 15 horsepower from the intake and the headers.
We didn't even touch the car.
Yeah, that's it. For road racing, lots of torque, really down low, might be a bit of a handful. But for Gymkhana Grid, this meaty section is what's gonna make the car really easy to drive. Because rather than having to clutch kick your way up into the high RPM to get your power, you're gonna be able to roll right in that mid-level RPM without stringing the car out to get the wheels spinning, but get the forward momentum going. So overall, I'm stoked. It's exactly where I wanna be. I think this car is gonna be a friggin' riot. I can't wait to get it out on track and shake this thing down. All right, back at the HQ, so you know what we gotta do. A little burnout time. Had to do a real stupid filter situation because my filter fell off. Yeah, made it! This is all we had. The yard is filthy, not risking sucking in dirt, but we gotta do a burnout because we all want it, so. Oh man, this thing is stupid. Woo! That was so cool.
Yeah.
So what's
God
next?
damn. Who cares? Suspension and brakes, rear end to make the differential setup stronger, paint, interior, aero. Then we'll go do some testing and then drive it, which is all that matters.
My OCD can't handle your build. I know.
I'm just cutting random sections. Trick is, you just gotta pretend you know what you're doing.
I want to put in a handbrake that means a lot. This handbrake was in Hoonigan V 0.5.